When we think of walls, we usually picture these massive physical things, right? Concrete, barbed wire, stuff that's meant to keep people apart. But what if I told you that in our super connected world, a whole new kind of wall is going up? It's one you can't see, you can't touch, but believe me, it's there. So, what are these invisible walls? I mean, they're not on any map, but they're dividing us just as effectively as any physical barrier. They're creating insiders and outsiders, sometimes in our own communities or even our own families. And that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. See, these new walls, they're not being built with bricks and mortar. They're being built with language, with words, specifically with technical terms that are popping up all around us. So let's dive right in. We're calling this the new linguistic wall. And we're going to break down exactly how our use of technology and language is creating this huge divide. And more importantly, we're going to look at who's being left on the other side. Okay, so every wall needs its building blocks, right? Well, for this wall, the bricks are that constant, endless stream of technical terms that have just completely flooded our daily conversations. Just think for a second about how we talk about the most basic digital stuff. I mean, think about it. Words we use every single day without a second thought. Download, upload, login, just click the link. For a lot of us, this is totally normal. But for someone who isn't soaked in the digital world, this isn't just a little bit of jargon. It's practically a foreign language. Every single one of these terms is another brick in that wall. And this is where that invisible barrier suddenly becomes very, very visible. Look at the left side. You see a phrase you might hear in tons of workplaces, mixing the local language with tech speak. It basically says, do an upload of the file and send me the link. Now look at the right. Same exact instruction, but in clear, simple language. Upload the file and send me the link. The first one, it creates an exclusive club for people who get the lingo. The second one is open to everybody. One builds a wall, the other opens a door. It's that simple. So, if all those technical terms are the bricks, then what's the mortar holding them all together? Well, it's the absolute dominance of English as the default language of all things tech. This is something we call global English. It's this unspoken rule that to really play in the digital world, you've got to operate in English. Software, huge platforms, coding, the entire foundation is built on it. And sure, it's a super powerful tool for connecting the globe, but it also acts as a really powerful gatekeeper. And this dependence on English isn't a neutral thing. It carries this big assumption that everyone has had access to a certain kind of education, a certain level of digital savvy. It quietly puts one group at an advantage while shutting another one out, creating the two very different sides of this linguistic wall. Okay, and this brings us to what is, for me, the most important part of this whole conversation. Because this isn't just some abstract idea from a linguistics class. This wall has a real human cost. So let's ask, who exactly is being left behind? What you're looking at here is the result, a society that's basically splitting in two. On one side, you've got the technically connected, the folks who can speak this new tech language like a native. But on the other side, you have a huge group that's becoming linguistically isolated. They're cut off from essential services, from jobs, even from their own families, all because they don't speak the code. The sources are pretty clear about the two main groups that are getting hit the hardest. First, you have older generations. They're finding that the digital language is just changing way too fast for them to keep up, and it leaves them feeling totally stranded. And second, you have entire communities, maybe in rural areas or places with less money, that just don't have access to the same kind of tech education. They're locked out before they even get a chance to start. And this quote, wow, it just perfectly captures the personal pain of this whole thing. It's not just about not knowing how to use a phone. It's about losing connection. It's the voice of a grandparent who feels like the world their grandkids are living in is speaking a language they just can't understand anymore. So that brings the question right back to us, doesn't it? As we see this wall getting higher and higher, what's our role? Are we just adding more bricks to it without even realizing it? Or can we help build a bridge instead? And here's the good news. The solution doesn't require some massive tech revolution. It actually starts with something way simpler, just being aware. It's about making a conscious choice to use language that includes everyone, instead of just defaulting to the jargon that keeps people out. So I'll leave you with that final thought. The next time you're explaining how to use an app or you're sending an email at work, just remember you have a choice. Are your words going to add another brick to that wall, or are they going to help build a bridge? The choice and the impact it has is all yours.